Just past the halfway point in the USL League One season, there is a new hope at Reese Stevens Field. Coming off a rebellious 3-1 win on Saturday, the Mingos will go to war with Charlotte's Independent Empire, which currently sits third in the League One table. Here's a look at that game on Saturday. It was live nationally on the Golazo Network, and Forward Madison showing their stuff. It was a win that Matt Glazer said felt like Forward Madison again, their first since March in the league. Derek Gebhardt on the score sheet, tying the all-time record for most goals in Forward Madison history. And even though they played up a man, things got a little bit nervy towards the end. They conceded a goal to make the lead 2-1 before Juan Galindres polished things off and secured the 3 points for Madison in front of the home fans. Derek Gebhardt, undeniably Mr. Madison. To mention that he tied that all-time record with his 23rd goal for the club. He's also got 15 assists in 137 appearances. This is his 5th season with the Mingos, and it's his best so far by the numbers in terms of goals in league play. He's already got 5 this season. Matt Glazer said he has been the most consistent piece. He's been working hard every single day, setting the tone and leading by example. He will wear the captain's armband tonight as he meets with an old foe, Charlotte forward Christian Cheney, who spent the last 2 seasons in Madison, and he is the one that Gebhardt is tied with those 23 goals for the club. Gebhardt could break his record tonight, but the man in the best form is certainly Christian Cheney. 10 goals in all competitions this year. The Madison fans know what it looks like to see this man hit the back of the net at Reese Stevens Field, as he scored 13 of those 23 at home. It's May the Forward be with you tonight in Madison, and episode 12 of this epic rivalry is upon us shortly. Forward Madison and Charlotte Independent starting lineups and kickoff coming up right after this.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
And build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person, with new vehicles arriving every day. Your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Simbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
Tonight's edition of Midweek Mingo Madness presented by Dairyland Insurance as we get set for kickoff from Reese Stevens Field in Madison, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for Matt Glazer's side. You know the drill, 3-4-3, and no changes from their 3-1 win against Greenville. Luca Dorado leads the line yet again, and it's Derek Gebhardt, number 17, who will wear the captain's armband with Mitch Osmond still out in defense for Forward Madison. For Charlotte Independence, the first game back at Reese Stevens Field for Christian Cheney, their star man, who signed in the offseason and has 10 goals in all competitions, second in the League One Golden Boot race, tied with his teammate Swabu Maru, who starts with him for just the 6th time this season in all competitions. In their first 5 matches that they started together, they have scored 6 goals. So that is a dynamic duo up top for the traveling Charlotte Independents and Mike Jeffries, currently in a 3-game winless skid, which by their impressive record this season sounds like a lot. Madison snapped a 10-match winless streak in the league with that win against Greenville on Saturday. So there's certainly a new hope brewing as we present May the Forward Be With You night here at Breese Stevens Field. A fun occasion for all around. You could cut the emotions in the air with a light sword, may it be pink or blue. Christian Cheney returns against a team that won 2 matchups in Charlotte with Cheney in blue and pink. 2 knockout games last season right here at Breese Stevens Field. The Jägermeister Cup semifinal and a USL quarterfinal playoff match, both going the way of Madison, who have gone undefeated across the last 6 matches in this series. But this season, it's certainly been a different story. Charlotte coming 3rd in the League One table entering today's action. We got a handful of other games going on as we speak, but we're glad that you've joined us for this one on ESPN+. Madison, as we mentioned, got that big win, and they've got keys to the match presented by UBS. For Madison, control the tempo. That is going to be very important. They do not want this game to turn into a track meet, as we see Swabu Maru played in over the top. For Charlotte, gotta manage those emotions. I just talked about those 2 big losses they took right here in Madison last year. The return of Cheney, tensions will be high. This crowd is gonna get into it. They want to try to get into Cheney's head a little bit if possible. Their old teammate, they know how to press his buttons. And as long as Charlotte can keep that in check, play their system, and stay compact against Madison, they know the key to success in this match. Their formula has worked all year. Cheney has led the line, and he gets the start with Swabu Maru today, which is a slight change. Maru has been USL League One's best super sub, scoring 7 goals in all competitions off the bench this year. 5 of his 6 in the league have come as a substitute, including when he became the first player in league history to score a hat trick off the bench against Westchester earlier this year. You'll see him out on the left in support of Cheney. When they've started together this season, they've combined for 6 goals, but it's been more prolific for Cheney to play alongside Maru. He's got 5 goals in those 5 games. Maru just 1 when they paired together from the start. There are a number of players missing from this match as well, as we take a look at our injury report presented by UW Health. And Mitch Osmond is certainly the biggest absence for Forward Madison. A 3-time captain, the big Aussie at the back. They do have capable replacement in the form of Michael Chilaka, who helped create 2 of the 3 goals with his passing against Greenville. They will also certainly miss Devin Boyce, a vibrant attacking player who gives that offense an extra element. And in his stead, it'll be Nazim Bartman starting at that right forward position in the 3-4-3, with Nico Brown flanked outside him on the same side. The combination was very fruitful against Greenville. Faraday Souza is back and available for selection. He missed the last match with a red card that he picked up against Texoma, but he is back should they need a switch on the right. But no need to make any changes for Matt Glazer. As he said, it felt like Forward Madison again, that win that they had against Greenville here in front of the home fans. Charlotte into the attacking half with Captain Clay Dimmick knocking off a short pass with Bashir and Jai. bit of pressure from Luca Dorado. Number 70 up top for Madison, but they will sit into their block. As Charlotte go all the way back to Matt Levy. Left-footed ball out, finds the foot of Maru. Cut inside by Mel to Aiden Macias, making his 4th straight start for the Mingos in the midfields. Bartman finds Brown, back post ball. Gebhardt able to track it down. Continue the pressure for forward Madison. Bartman dropping in. He'll play more as an inverted forward. Coming in from the right, allowing Nico Brown plenty of space to operate. 1 versus 1 in isolation on the wing, and it's Brown who draws the foul here. He's a natural winger, the Jamaican international. You'll see Pele Usmanu, not a natural left back, who's had to fill in the absence of Fabrice Nga and Anton Sorensen, who commits the foul. Nico Brown, thanks to his 1v1 abilities, the most fouled player on the forward Madison team. And he earns his squad a free kick. Jake Kroll goes over to line it up. See the blustery weather. There was a tornado warning earlier this afternoon. Some storms throughout the day. Thankfully, things have cleared up. Kroll bombs it back post. Calls out Levy from his goal. The first-year starter for the Jacks has been nearly impenetrable this year. 25-year-old goalkeeper out of FIU. 4 clean sheets on the season, a sterling 1.25 goals against average across all competitions. Madison take their time with the throw-in. Knocked forward by Jobin Romero. The USL on CBS kicks off July with a hot showdown in the Championship Eastern Conference. Last season's final runner-up, Rhode Island FC, takes on Northeast rival Hartford Athletic on Saturday, July 19th at 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Pressure on Shipman, the Madison goalkeeper. He plays it out to Jake Kroll. His trusty Steed at left center back. No alt kilts for Madison this time around. They are officially undefeated with a +2 goal difference when wearing the Scottish-inspired garb that they donned against Greenville. Matt Glazer joked that even if they were 10 points clear on the table, you wouldn't find him wearing a kilt, but he did enjoy the fun atmosphere at Breese Stevens, getting his team back in the wing column, and tonight it's May the Forward be with you as the pink and blue light swords were handed out to the lucky fans who got here early enough while the supplies lasted. Awesome atmosphere in this historic grounds, originally raised in 1926. Disjointed possession out of play for a Charlotte throw as the 20-year-old Usmanu readies to take. Charlotte coach Mike Jeffries was complimentary of his makeshift left back as this shot is blocked by Spielman. Tends to be a magnet when the other team gets into shooting position, and now it's John Baquero striding free. He's got Maru to his left. Swabu Maru off the upright. Cheney keeps it alive to Jauregui. Maru battling at the back stick, sent away by forward Madison, and the first big chance of the match falls to Charlotte and Super Swabu Maru. On from the start today, instead of as a sub, and already proving how dangerous he can be. Charlotte, they play direct. They're 11th in the league when it comes to possession numbers out of 14. Madison, number 2. And it's Dorado who's asking a lot of Jalvin Romero here. He gets there first on the loose ball, hacked down by Usmanu. And this will be a caution for the Charlotte left back as we get another look at the break from the Jacks. Baquero spotted Maru. Great technique to keep it low. I think it may have even taken a little bit of a touch off of the defender, and more than a little touch from Usmanu, bringing down Dorado. But the mess on that occasion caused by Jalvin Romero, and you can see him there chatting with Usmanu, telling him he needs to talk. He needs to tell him that he had pressure on his back. But certainly as a center back, you should know that the forward is going to be trying to go after that ball. In any case, a little bit of miscommunication, and it winds up in a yellow card and a free kick for the hosts. The first delivery from Kroll was a good one from a similar angle. See if he can find a teammate this time around. This is one of those areas that they do feel the absence of Mitch Osmond. Still plenty of targets to aim for as Kroll fires low. Baquero hit by Madison. It was Bartman in the end with the deflected effort. And Levy records his first save of the match. Unlucky for Gebhard. I'm sure he would have claimed it had it gone in, but he'd probably choose for a more worthy goal if he is going to break that forward Madison all-time scoring record today, which he might be able to do against the man he's tied with, Christian Cheney. For now, it's Charlotte, as Cheney awaits in the box with Bashir Njai at the edge of the area. Jauregui combines with Baquero. Reset by Romero. Just past the outstretched right foot of Clay Dimmick. The 2024 USL League One Comeback Player of the Year. You take his presence for granted. He started every single match in the league for Charlotte this year. Did so last year as well, becoming an Iron Man after recovering from a cervical disc replacement, being the first player in League One history to ever overcome that surgery. Only the second professional athlete to even have it. Seriously scary, and he has made the recovery look like nothing. Done with the support, of course, of Mike Jeffries, who's been along for the whole ride, even back to the days when, believe it or not, Derek Gebhard used to play for Charlotte Independence back in the championship. Off to a flying start this year. The Jacks, they're big spenders. They've brought in some new signings mid-season as well after the departure of Luis Alvarez and Alfredo Midense getting recalled by Lexington. Midense, oddly enough, still leads the team in assists this year with 4, and he's second in USL League One, despite only playing a handful of games for Charlotte. They've been able to make up for his creativity. Sis on the ball, finding the feet of Cheney. Cleared away by Macias as that blue wall forms in front of the Madison penalty area. So we mentioned the new signings for Charlotte. Nada Martinez available on the bench, as is Tumi Moshabane, who is the one that fans will be really excited about, coming over from the USL Championship. He did play in League One way back with Lansing Ignite in 2019, where he had a 10-goal campaign, and he's shown he can do it at this level. Still looking for his fitness, so he's on the bench. A fairly new signing for Charlotte, as they try to bolster their squad in mid-season. It's a busy July for everyone around USL League One. These two teams certainly a part of that. Final round of the Jägermeister Cup coming up in a couple weeks as well. And these midweek fixtures, big chance to get points. Jauregui slid away by Christopher Garcia as the two Californians do battle. Jauregui. The USL on ESPN2. Watch July 26th for a Jägermeister Cup matchup between Championship Club Detroit City FC and League One newcomer Westchester SC on Saturday, July 26th. That's 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Charlotte still alive in Group 5 of the Jägermeister Cup. They're locked in with Loudoun United, who they drew 1-1, but lost the penalty shootout, which could prove pivotal for Charlotte in the jumbled group standings. They've also got Louisville City, high-flying championship team, in that group, but Charlotte avoided a matchup with them. And they were able to beat Lexington in a shootout, and they've got Richmond kickers in their last match. So a chance for Charlotte to potentially claim one of the wild card spots. Madison probably not going to make it out of the Jägermeister Cup this time around. Last year when it was just League One teams, these two were in the same Jägermeister Cup group and then met again in the semifinal, where, as we mentioned before, Madison got the win. It was 2-1 right here, and Cheney scored and was sent off in that match in full Christian Cheney fashion. Hasn't had a lot of chances to speak of in his return to Bree Stevens Field as they look for him over the top, and it's a goal kick for Forward Madison. Scene here in the Midwest. Storms held off gratefully for everyone. Charlotte's had 3 of their last 4 matches affected by weather delays. We've seen it all across USL League One. And thankfully dry and no dangerous weather, letting the fans get out here and enjoy a Wednesday night match after work or whatever the case may be. Summer off school, family fun for all at Bree Stevens Field, trying to watch their team earn another win. Could be their 3rd in 4 games as they try to spark this mid-season turnaround. Omar Sis taking his time to get back to his feet here. A 23-year-old midfielder, ever present in Mike Jeffrey's side. He and Bashir and Jai, such a stalwart duo in there, the pillars of the Jacks midfields. Sis back to his feet as the trees rustle and the flock end comes to full voice. Intercepted by Garcia. A first moment for Gebhard to raise the energy. Garcia going down. A little too much contact from Omar Sis. Take another look here on our Dairyland replay. Don't know that the contact was with the part of his face that he was holding, but there certainly was a little bit after he had stopped the ball. And our official blows for the free kick right here on the 20-minute mark. Live on ESPN Plus. Still seeking the opener in episode 12 here of this fabulous rivalry. Charlotte's last victory in Madison was the first time these two ever met in League One, all the way back in 2022. This has not been a happy place for them to come. And those standing in pink behind the goal showing why. Free kick headed out by Usmanu, only to Bartman. Levy safely behind it, and the USL League One saves leader records his 40th of the season. Javan Romero out to Pele. Suebu Maru tracking the ball through the channel. Well matched by the Madison back line. Gebhard. A little bit of a tug there by Spielman. Not seen by the referee. Auregi splits the lines and Njai can turn. Pele Usmanu draws out Nico Brown. And a timely step from Michael Chilaka, but may have wrapped his arms around the Charlotte forward in the process. Auregi going down. Chilaka very close to timing that perfectly. But good use of the body as Auregi drew the foul, setting up a set-piece opportunity for Charlotte. Baquero right on the 6-yard line, and it's headed away by Timmy Mell. Sparking Luca Dorado into transition. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Mel's big switch asking a bit too much of Nico Brown. Javan Romero, just 19 years old, making his 50th appearance as a pro between MLS Next Pro and the Guadalajara under-23s. Also an under-17 CONCACAF champion with Mexico. It's quite the partnership he's formed with the steely Nick Spielman, as Cheney with a dangerous overhead kick there. Referee saw it and will allow the play to continue. Former Mingo apologetic to the nearest defender. Bear Insurance, a proud sponsor of Forward Madison FC, is based in Madison and has provided protection and peace of mind to businesses and individuals throughout the state of Wisconsin since 1928. Best chance of the opening 25 minutes came for Charlotte. Swaybu Maru struck the post, but very little to speak of besides that for the visitors. Forward Madison, predictably, on the ball quite a bit. Had a couple shots from distance, but nothing too troubling for Matt Levy in the early going. As it does feel like we are simply penning the opening lines of our story tonight. So much on the line, so much history between these two clubs. So many high-stakes matches that they've played, especially in the past year. Dimmick looking low, cut out by Macias. Gebhard has Sis nibbling at his heels. Foul whistled against the Charlotte midfielder, and that was his second of the same nature, so I imagine he's getting a little bit of a talking to here from Justin St. Pierre. Get a look there at John Murphy, the midfield partner with Aiden Macias. Murphy just 25, but making his 125th professional appearance this evening. His stability alongside Macias that allows the Madison number 10 to really dictate the tempo. He settled into that role nicely, starting the last 3 matches in the build-up to this one. It's that duo in the middle of the park again, and they face one of the toughest battles in League One when it comes to that midfield area in the form of Sis and Njai. Mel stepping forward, looking for Dorado in transition. Romero keeps up with him, reaching around for a challenge. Pegged back to Nazim Bartman. Aiden Macias with a bobbling ball over to Christopher Garcia. Trying to find Gebhard on the inside channel. Bartman, left foot. Another stop made by Matt Levy. Hasn't had to go into a full dive for any of them, but his goal starting to get peppered just a bit by Forward Madison. Bartman's second effort from the edge of the area. It's so important that they do switch up those attacks. It was something that Matt Glazer was very proud of when we spoke in the build-up to this match in terms of how things went in that 3-goal victory against Greenville. He was really happy with the variety of goals that his team scored and how comprehensive the win was because of those 3 different styles of goals. You can't just pass the ball around and look for tap-ins all the time. This time it's a transition moment as Nico Brown battles with Usmanu on the far touchline. Certainly necessary that they continue taking a few of those shots from the edge of the area just to loosen up Charlotte's back line. Force them out, and then you can play through. Spotted a couple balls over the top as well, and this time through the lines looking for Brown. It will run past him. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Pretty pink percussion in the flock end. hard. Called for the infraction at the edge of the Charlotte penalty area. It's looking like a game of tanks for a moment there, just lobbing the ball back and forth from penalty box to penalty box. Both teams cautious not to make the big mistake. For Charlotte coming in on the road, they know they have to be compact. They know they have the players to play direct. Maru and Cheney starting up top. Madison wary of any giveaways at the back. That could send Charlotte in transition. The build up here results in Usmanu swerving, header, Maru, Jauregui didn't get hold of it. And Burn Shipman does on the 30-minute mark of the first half here. Great work from Usmanu. A little bit of a shoulder even from Jake Kroll helped to get that ball out a little bit and have it bounce up high on Jauregui. Outside of the back line, Jauregui has been the most consistent presence in the team this year for Charlotte. Started all 14 matches in the league. Couple goals in the Open Cup, 1 assist against AV Alta earlier this season. Hasn't necessarily had the end product, but his work has been fantastic, and the many different combinations that he has partnered with, they're all better when he's around. Great feet from Macias, playing with his tail up, evading the long legs of Maru. Spielman required to deal with this ball. Again, looking for that outlet of Swaybu Maru. Man who's come closest in this first half, striking the post of Burn Shipman's goal. Now here's Cheney. He saw the goalkeeper out, had a look up, and he gets some contact from behind from Macias. This will be a yellow card to the Madison number 10. Thought Cheney had some very bad intentions here for a moment. Look at his eyes light up as he spotted something, decided against it, and proved to be a smart decision as he draws the caution against his old Madison teammate. Seen a couple of goals from around the halfway line around USL League One this year. Wouldn't that have been a moment? He's already tried a bicycle kick around the halfway line, although I'm quite certain it was a pass, not a shot. Jauregui gets the free kick short. Held up very well. I believe that's Usmanu. Left back finding himself on the right wing. Round the corner from Garcia. Intercepted by Omar Sis as the rubber pellets held that ball up just enough. Thought it might have been curling in the direction of Nazim Bartman. Cheney finding himself on the left wing now. One-on-one with Nico Brown. Step overs to the end line. Who is it off last? It is a corner for Charlotte. Cheney just reminding everyone that he's more than a big lad up top. He's got some fine feet and a very mobile player. Dangerous with the ball at his feet. He grew up playing soccer in Mexico and He said there, if you tried to nutmeg people, they would make you pay for it. In this case, his only payback was a corner, as he seems to have some kind of issue with maybe a contact lens. But even Christian Cheney with limited vision, probably still ranking among the top goal-scoring threats, certainly in USL League One, and one of the better ones that Brees Stevens Fields has ever seen. 13 goals here in his career. On his return to Wisconsin, Baquero swings in the corner. Free header, Cheney off the bar! It's the second ball after it's attacked at the near post by Maru. It goes off Kroll's head. Cheney was up there, and give credit to Michael Chilaka, number 2 in blue, who wags his finger at Cheney, putting just enough pressure on the Charlotte forward to put him off on this header attempt. And he didn't like it very much. Cheney trying to draw the attention to the referee. Some theatrics, all in good fun between those two. Cheney won't have to be out for a while for forward Madison, but not sure exactly how long. Derek Gebhard, the captain in the meantime. And in the back, Michael Chilaka is a very good replacement to have. Not a lot of teams with a fourth center back as good as him. But he steps in and certainly knows Christian Cheney very well. More than capable of dealing with the 6'2" forward. Away comes Gebhard. Brown fluttering to life, making sure Cheney knows he's not the only man who could do some step overs. We're just waiting for that one moment from Christian Cheney. I think it started a little while ago when he just looked up at the halfway line, and then he draws that foul from behind from Macias, and from there, he's looked very locked in. He's a player that floats in and out of games sometimes, Christian Cheney. And when he takes that one moment, he's almost like a running back who needs to get hit once to really get activated. You get that feeling from Charlotte's number 99, but he will be deemed irrelevant as long as Madison keep the ball here. Their through ball runs over the end line. No trouble for the Charlotte back line, but a good piece of build-up and possession from Matt Glazer's side. There's some fascinating stats when it comes to Madison's possession numbers. We know that they're second in the league. They keep approximately 56% of the ball on average. But one of their 2 wins this season came with their lowest percentage of possession, with just 40% against Richmond way back at the beginning of the year. They did have more possession against Greenville in the win on Saturday, but they also played up a man for the vast majority of that match. And when they hold more than 60% of possession this season, Madison have not won any of those 4 occasions. 2 losses and 2 draws. Cheney flicks it over to Maru. Well read by the Madison defender to step in before he could bring it under his control. Just to follow up on my last soliloquy, Madison right now 53% possession edge according to the Opta stat sheet I have in front of me. As we play into the 40th minute from Brees Stevens Fields. Christopher Garcia struggled to get it under his grasp. Down goes, I think that's Dimmick. who came into midfield to make the challenge, winning a free kick for the Independents. Dairyland replay gives us another look. See, just a slight limp. Cheney looking for a nutmeg, gets the fortunate bounce and comes inside. But he's collapsed on by blue shirts and white sashes. Vaquero bounces up off Cheney's foot. Matt Glazer with some motivation for his side as they play into the final 5 minutes of the first half. Trying to keep that level and that focus up. Vaquero, awkward ball. I think it was meant to be a cross. You see the thumbs up from Cheney and from Maru. Just got away from him slightly, but still ended up nearly as dangerous. It's a really whipping wind here in Madison this evening. You can see on that Michelob Ultra flag behind the goal. There was a tornado approximately 15 miles away a couple hours before this match kicked off. And you can see the residual wind still here. Hasn't stopped a great crowd from attending this match, though. Shipman sends it skyward. Kroll. Calm possession for forward Madison. Here is their best long passer in Chilaka, and he spots Nico Brown. Turning back and finding Gebhard. Seeking to spark the play from midfield. He joins Macias. Charlotte wary of conceding here. Gave up a goal at the end of the half to Union Omaha after playing well in the opening stages of that match. 2-1 loss in their last league game. Mike Jeffries was very disappointed with the performance overall. First game under the new coach after Don Casciato left Los Bujos. And they got the bounce, to be sure. It's played through for Garcia. Garcia around the goalkeeper, Christopher Garcia! One-0 to the Mingos. As Madison hits less than 90 seconds before halftime. Perfectly spotted by Luca Dorado, and Garcia did the rest. His first goal in the league for forward Madison. What a moment for the 22-year-old. Giving some congratulations for the assist there from Luca Dorado. His second in as many matches. And Madison seemed to have that feeling back at Breese Stevens Field. Charlotte in familiar position, trailing away to Madison as we enter 1 minute of first half stoppage time. And our stoppage time presented by Just Coffee Co-op. Shoved to the ground was Luca Dorado. Across the minimum of 1 extra minute. And Madison just looking for that halftime whistle now. It's been a strong first half indeed. Could Dorado make it more? Somehow navigating through, and he draws a free kick. That will certainly be the final moment of the first half in a very dangerous position for forward Madison. Just a poor decision from Charlotte. Sis going for the ball. Dorado's head was a little bit low, but that is a dangerous play, and you have to protect the attacking player in that situation. No reason for Sis's foot to be up so high, especially with other defenders in the area. Looks like a number of Mingos fancy their chances here. There was a yellow card as well issued to Omar Sis. He's had a few fouls kind of along that dangerous line, tiptoeing his way around the referee's book and eventually walks right into it. On Madison can make Charlotte pay here. From the moment the whistle was blown, Garcia looked to me the most likely. He picked up the ball with quite a bit of intention after opening the scoring in the 44th minute. I think he's earned this free kick, but he'll have to negotiate with John Murphy, who does back off now. Looks like it'll be number 11 against a 5-man wall with Cheney front and center and Sis just off to the side. Matt Levy was beaten to the goalkeeper side in the Jägermeister Cup against Loudoun from a similar range. Christopher Garcia, the wall does its job. The rebounds right to Levy, and that brings our first half to a close. As Madison continuing their fine form, all smiles for Christopher Garcia and the Mingos. He gets his first goal in forward Madison colors, and a great payoff for a good performance in the first half from the home side. Episode 12 of Charlotte and forward Madison. It's been a good first half, but we sense there is much more to come in this one. We will break it all down for you on our halftime show coming up just after this short break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching USL on ESPN+.
Tomorrow isn't on the horizon. It's already here. At TrueStage, we've been building the future for nearly a century, empowering businesses to support their customers and members with what they need to thrive. Confidence in every step forward. With our range of simple and flexible financial solutions, we're not just ready for the future, we're shaping it, and we're helping you shape it too. Tomorrow isn't waiting, and neither should you. Learn more at TrueStage.com.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person, with new vehicles arriving every day. Your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
Our halftime scoreboard presented by Just Coffee Cooperative shows us Forward Madison in front of Charlotte Independence by a score of 1-0 thanks to Christopher Garcia. We're going to take a look at The Experience presented by El Jimador Spiked Bebidas, which is a video docuseries that shows the history and community. It's available on youtube.com/USL on July 17th.
We want to be the loudest people around. We want you to hear where we are at.
Oh, let it go!
No one thought we would do what we did against Louisville.
We were hot, we were clicking, we were scoring goals.
Even after the whistle blew and they were champions, forget about it. Raise your scarves. We kept playing.
I don't think I've heard a louder scream from a group of people than we did that night.
That's the important thing about this group. They never stop loving their team.
Touch so telling for AV Alta. So many talented players. Desdude, one of them, picks out a teammate and slotted home brilliantly by Blancas. Blancas will go for the hat trick. Oh, he's got it! Oh my! Unreal!
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
The back off the goal kick. The box keeper's out. He scores!
It's an S.
On that back. My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa. Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Da, 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 da. Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground. Justice from the ground up.
Welcome back to halftime here from Forward Madison and Charlotte. We take a look at our USL League One do's and don'ts. Jägermeister Cup coming down to the wire. We got one round of group stage matches left, and the draw coming up very soon as we find out our knockout pairings. And the USL returns to CBS as Hartford Athletic and Rhode Island FC go to war in a local derby there, and two streaks were snapped in USL League One. Portland getting their first away victory after 7 attempts against Texoma, and that snapped Texoma's impressive unbeaten run in the league. Both those teams back in action today. And here's a look at our upcoming schedule. It's a double week in USL League One. Forward Madison, one of the teams who is off on Saturday, but Charlotte Independence will have another game. They host Portland at 7 o'clock in that one, and a few other tasty matchups around the league as well. I am certainly going to tune in for the nightcap on Saturday for a little League One After Dark between AV Alta and FC Naples, an all-expansion matchup there. This was how things shook out from last week's Team of the Week, and no surprise to see a trio of Mingos in the starting 11. Gebhard, Dorado, and Nico Brown, who all had goal contributions in that 3-1 win against Greenville. Danny Fernandez named Player of the Week after scoring the decisive penalty in One Knox's 100th game as a club. Matt Poland named Coach of the Week for FC Naples. So this is what things look like as recent as we could make them. Spokane Velocity extending their lead at the top, up as we speak against Westchester Chattanooga in number 2, also in winning position against Texoma. So those two jump up to the top. AV Alta in action. They are trailing Knoxville right now, but so are Charlotte Independence. So they are right now falling into 4th position after entering the day in 3rd. And for Madison, up to 15 points, should things stay this way. Just moments away from our second half kick, so don't go anywhere. Make sure you keep that stream open. We're coming back at you to Breese Stevens Field right after this.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person. With new vehicles arriving every day, your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Wrapping up our Just Coffee Cooperative halftime show here. Forward Madison 1-0 in front of Charlotte Independence. the latest chapter of this League One rivalry. For those of you who may have tuned in a little bit late, let's check out how the first half went. And the first chance of the match did go to Charlotte Independence. It looked like they got off on the front foot when Swebu Maru strided onto this one. It takes a little deflection in the end from Michael Chilaka to adjust the spin on that ball, striking the post. And that was really the last we would hear for Charlotte for a while as Madison took control of this match. Nazim Bartman firing off a shot from the edge of the area. Service supplied by Christopher Garcia. And remember that name for later. In the 28th minute, the chances kept coming. Garcia dribbling inside. And this would be another shot from Bartman, challenging Matt Levy in net. And he stood up well to it. The USL League One leader in saves had a busy first half with 4 shots on target from forward Madison. Here was the next opportunity that went to Charlotte. Coming off a cross from Pele Uzmanu. Haregi just not quite getting a hold of it. Then in the 36th minute, a corner kick, and the second ball comes to Christian Cheney with a chance to score on his return to Breese Stevens Field. But it wasn't to be, as Michael Chilaka was able to body him off a little bit, wag a finger at him as if to say, not today, my friend. We are not going to let you have that kind of homecoming. Instead, it was Christopher Garcia who polished off the first half with a beautiful goal in transition, making it look so easy to dribble right past Matt Levy. Composure of a seasoned veteran, but just his first goal for the club for the 22-year-old winger. Here's how the stats shook out in the first half. The 1-0 lead for forward Madison, supported by 7 shots, 4 of them on target, and a 55% share of the possession. Kind of to be expected from what we would anticipate from these two teams, but Charlotte a lot less threatening than they usually are over the course of the season. They lead League One in shots per game with 13.4, just 3 in that first half, and only 1 put on target. As we hit the second half running from Breese Stevens Field, and Christian Cheney trying to get involved right away. He is still tied atop the all-time forward Madison goal-scoring charts with Mr. Madison, Derek Gebhard, who equaled his 23 goals in that win against Greenville on Saturday. Gebhard didn't have a ton of chances in the first half. Cheney was buzzing around, as always. But for now, it's Christopher Garcia with the deciding goal as we enter the second 45. Parker Johnson, happy to have you here with us for our USL League One nightcap. A busy night with 10 teams in action on this midweek Wednesday matchup. And there were 2 subs to report at halftime for forward Madison. Garrett McLaughlin entering the fray up top for Luca Dorado. And Damia Villader, who comes onto the ball here. Substituted on for Nico Brown at halftime. Gebhard sniffing out an opportunity, but he's second to it as Matt Levy leaves his area. So Villader for Brown on the right, and McLaughlin up top for Dorado. Those were 2 of the more impressive players across the last 135 minutes, I suppose, in Dorado and Nico Brown for forward Madison. We'll see how that changes proceedings. Baquero dances through, a flicked header, Cheney at the doorstep! It wasn't meant to be in the 48th minute, but Baquero did his best, and the cross from Jauregui gets a fortunate bounce to the forward, who certainly committed, unable to keep his header underneath the crossbar. Madison insistent on playing out from the goal kick. And they get away nicely. Kroll brings it forward. Uses McLaughlin for help. Now it's Garcia, the goal scorer. And a perfect first phase of the build for the Mingos as they now set up shop in the attacking half. Glazer was insistent that his team was better than the results suggested. He said it all year. Their expected goals were still high. Even in the 2-0 loss to Texoma, it was their best expected goals output of the season. If you look at expected points, which is also generated from expected goals, they're a top 6 or 8 team in the league. Not perfect by any means, not last year's heady heights of 3rd place at the end of the season, but better than the 13th place that they came into tonight's match in the standings. They've shown it through the run of play here against Charlotte, a team with 7 wins in 14 matches in league play this year. One of the best performing League One teams in the Jägermeister Cup as well. They've done it against all levels of competition, as it's a big challenge from Njai. Now played forward to Christian Cheney. Swung in looking for Maru. And that will change the dynamic slightly for Mike Jeffries as well. We talk about the boost that it is to have Maru in from the start. So we get another look at the tackle from behind. And Jai definitely gets the ball, but the angle that he came from made that a dangerous moment for Derek Gebhard. See that the argument that both players will take on that. Referee giving the benefit of the doubt to the Charlotte midfielder, but definitely a hard fall for Forward Madison's captain. Just going back to Maru, he's been so effective off the bench that when Charlotte have needed something to change a game, he's often the first man Mike Jeffries calls upon. They don't have that option in this one. Him playing from the start alongside Cheney. And in protest of that decision, one of the members of the Madison bench got a yellow card. It was not Matt Glazer, but somebody else down there in the technical area. Moment that may cause the tensions to rise between Madison and Charlotte. Played 2 elimination games here at Breese Stevens Field last year. Both wins for Forward Madison as they advanced into the final of the Jägermeister Cup and into the semifinal of the USL League One playoffs. Both ending the Jacks campaigns in those respective competitions. Flicked forward, Baquero must have been offside, and he was. Creative idea from Christian Cheney, but Baquero knew that any touch he made would have certainly been called back. Tried a little bit of everything, Christian Cheney. Diving headers, bicycle kick passes, step overs on the end line, and plenty of flicks. Struck the crossbar in the first half with a header. Murphy trying to steal an extra couple of yards on the free kick, to Justin St. Pierre's displeasure. Matt Glazer made an interesting comment after that Greenville match. They score the first goal. Greenville get a red card on a last man sending off as Garcia cuts inside here. Gebhard to the end line, back to McLaughlin. Cleared initially by Charlotte. Macias picking it up. Dribbling into the area, Aiden Macias. Vaquero crowds it away. Kroll whipped in. Spielman with a clearance. And that's a better one from Charlotte, but still at the feet of Aiden Macias. Continued pressure from the Mingos mounting. Viader dictating the play as he cuts inside, working with Macias. Sliced over to Bartman. Looks like he kept it alive, but nobody at the back post for Forward Madison. The USL on CBS kicks off July with a hot showdown in the Championship Eastern Conference. Last season's final runner-up, Rhode Island FC, takes on Northeast rival Hartford Athletic on Saturday, July 19th at 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Vaquero fighting off Aiden Macias in midfield. Brings Clay Dimmick into the play. Now it's Sis dancing through, drawing contact, but not a whistle. Minutes into the second half, it has taken on a similar posture to the first. Forward Madison dominating the ball. Charlotte Independent seem happy enough to play without it, but there just hasn't been a lot of threat when they do turn Forward Madison over. This time the transition moment stopped by a foul near the halfway line. And we saw in the first half when Cheney got involved with some of those Forward Madison defenders, it sort of helped him lock into the game for a few minutes. I wonder if that may be the case here as he was brought down. That tactical play. Charlotte not showing a lot of urgency to get this ball back into play. Cheney with his arm wrapped around Jake Kroll. Easy call for the referee. Again, the tactics from Forward Madison, and the referee putting a stop to it with more than 30 minutes left to go in this match. It sounds like the yellow card went to Burn Shipman here for time wasting. Somebody had to go into the book. I suppose for Forward Madison, it's better than having a center back on a yellow card. But Shipman will have to be careful as he takes his seconds here, as long as the Mingos remain in the lead. Usmanu cuts out across. Cheney's there, touches it to himself, not once but twice, sits a defender down. Cheney blocked. Burn Shipman with a foot save. Had to be alert at his near post, but Vaquero spotting the ball back in. Gebhard goes down. Play continues for Charlotte with a man on the ground. Awkward clearance. Awkward catch as well. And a moment to breathe. Some concern for Gebhard as well. First, we look at the opportunity from Cheney. Evades Kroll, sends John Murphy into a different zip code. And then on the return ball, you can see that hit the left leg of Derek Gebhard. Been there as a player when your knee or your ankle isn't locked and a ball comes in and hits it. It kind of cause that reverberation effect, if you will. Hopefully one that the forward Madison captain can walk off here. He had a little knock in the first half as well. But a good time around the 60-minute mark for both teams to take stock and assess what needs to be done in the final 30 minutes of this match. Charlotte, as we speak, have only created 0.35 XG in this contest, most of which probably came from that header off the crossbar from Cheney, and then the one that he missed from around the 6-yard box. But in terms of build-up and shots, there just really hasn't been much for Charlotte. Madison clearly happy with their at. We've seen that by the way that they've bled the clock on every single stoppage from the moment we exited halftime. But returning to a point that I made earlier, it was interesting to hear Matt Glazer talk about how that Greenville game went for them, playing up a man and playing with the lead for a lot of that match. It was Madison's first win since March, and this group, which has had a bit of a makeover heading into this year, wasn't really familiar with playing from a winning position. They were up a man, they concede a naive set-piece goal where the foul was caused by playing out of the back unnecessarily, a risk that they didn't need to take conceding. They asserted control back and scored a third. Nice set from Gebhard, beautiful interchange. Romero able to see it over the line, but you could see the gears clicking into place as Damian Villader had his fingerprints all over that one. It almost ended up back with Gebhard. Jovan Romero strong enough to see it over the end line. Another look at the levels that forward Madison have brought. They weren't always putting together those types of sequences this season. With time, figuring some things out. It's a poor pass from Omar Sis, intercepted by the Mingos, and possession given away cheaply again by Charlotte. Swaybu Maru has not had a sniff at goal since that opening play early on in the first half that struck the post. One goal for Maru in the 5 games that he has started this year across all competitions. 7 goals as a substitute. And on that note, we're hearing that Mike Jeffries thinking about some changes. No Maru to go for off the bench, but may see a couple different attacking options enter the fray shortly. For now, it's Madison and Macias. Villader invites the challenge from Pele, who's been immense in his 1v1 duels. That is the real asset that Usmanu brings to that left back position. Usmanu has Baquero checking short. On the spin, the Spaniard. Round to the far side for Clay Dimmick. Always looking to cross, but it's a missed header here. Falls to Sis. Now Njai strikes and scores! And just like that, Charlotte are level. You make one mistake and they make you pay. "64 minutes gone, 1-1. It's Macias, doesn't get his head on it. Watch Christian Cheney just move that defender out of the way a little bit. He's the first to celebrate, as Njai found just enough space to sneak it past Shipman. And the Sabres sheathed behind the forward Madison goal. An air of deflation caused by a classic away counter-strike from the Charlotte Independents. Macias to Bartman. Mingos have to find another gear now. They were looking pretty pleased with a 1-0 scoreline. Cheney running the other way. Draws out Timmy Mel. Trying to find some runners beyond him as he continues to hold it up. Great center forward play from Christian Cheney. Drop back by Gebhardt, who appears to be moving freely after his knock a couple minutes ago. Started the match with those two as top billing. Cheney and Gebhardt tied for the all-time lead in forward Madison goals after Gebhardt's strike on the weekend. And in fact, it's been opposite number 11s who have done the damage. Here is Bashir Njai. Charlotte's goal scorer goes down, challenged by Macias. He's frustrated, but he's gotten away with a few of those himself. It's been a physical game. Two teams with absolutely no love lost in the middle of a rugged stretch of the season. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157, the new Sirius XM app. Baquero. Cheney flicks it inside, favoring a shot. Teammate wasn't ready for the pass. Here goes Usmanu ahead of Bashir Njai. Jalvin Romero. Baquero swivels and strikes. Good contact with it. And of immense technique, the former Mac Herman Trophy Award winner at Wake Forest, best player in the country in college, and comes from great pedigree. His father, a Barcelona legend. It's McLaughlin. No, Murphy plays it through. Contact from the back. And it's just outside of the penalty area where we will see a forward Madison free kick. It's Sis who was on a yellow card. And that's where the complaints will be from a forward Madison perspective here. Sis could have easily been sent off. Picking up his 5th yellow card of the season in the first half, and it was one for persistent infringement. He stays on the pitch, and his next action will be to help defend this free kick. We saw Garcia strike one from the left side at a similar distance. This time, Bartman is the right-footed option. Now he walks over the ball. Tommy Aviader has a sweet, sweet left foot. '70th minute, Mingo's free kick for Viader. Murphy on the follow. Matt Levy congratulates his wall on a job well done. They blocked the initial attempt. Viader tried to sneak it through and under, and you don't really see that very often. The man underneath the wall, Rafael Jauregui, with his back turned. Didn't know a whole lot about it, but he was the one who blocked it. I've seen a lot of teams go to that tactic, and I don't know that I've ever actually seen the guy on the ground make a stop. There's a first time for everything. 71st minute now. And Jai passes up the shot, passes off to Dimmick. As the pass goes, as this match goes on, rather, feels like every chance that Charlotte gets has gotten more dangerous. Whether from Madison mistakes or from their own play. Vaquero yet again with so much time on the ball. Now out for a Charlotte corner. Yellow card for John Murphy. Not entirely sure what for. Unless it was called back from something a while ago. So we will await some clarification there, but he joins Aiden Macias as both members of the Madison midfields in Justin St. Pierre's pocketbook. Corner for Charlotte, taken by Vaquero. It's a very deep cross over the head even of Pele. Usmano swinging back in. Dominant header from Jay Kroll to get the Mingos out. Romero recycles. Goes Bartman on a challenge from Romero. Some words after. Between the Mexican and the South African. Meeting here in Madison, continuing the conversation. And finally, after being prepared some 10 minutes ago, Mike Jeffries makes his 2 substitutions. Juan David Moreno will come on the wing. Fabrice Nga, the substitution at left back. Christian Cheney coming over to the side to give a little instruction. Stay on the pitch here. It's Ousmane who comes off. So a straight swap at left back for Fabrice Nga. Missed the last match. Moreno joins a diverse attack that still includes Cheney, Vaquero, and Maru. He replaces Rafael Jauregui. Reminder that Charlotte do play again on Saturday. Madison have the weekend off. Madison made 2 switches at halftime that appeared to be pre-planned. Murphy stabs it over to Jake Kroll. 15 minutes remaining. Plus stoppage time as Garcia dances. Garcia goes past, threatening the end line, and our goal scorer can't pick out a cross. Allowing the Colombian Moreno to get his first touches of the match. Cheney driving at the defense. Timely step from Chilaka, who has marshaled him well when Cheney has required one-on-one treatment. It's been Michael Chilaka up to the task. The Israel international. McLaughlin racing in behind, needs some support from Bartman. He cuts it to the middle. Get Bartman hustling back, then goes through the back of Njai, and this will be a booking for Bartman. Njai knew exactly what he was doing there, trying to just get his body between Bartman and the ball. And he succeeds, stepping over the ball and drawing the contact. Feels like this game could just keep going and going. Charlotte launching another attack, and it's thwarted by Murphy. Mistake from Mastias. Proved costly in the second half as Njai equaled out Chris Garcia's first half goal. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Cheney's there for the long ball from Romero. Nga underlapping. Showing his offensive thrust. A little bit of a different player from Ousmane. Dimmick on the opposite side. Cheney brings it down. Took a little extra time with it, and Chilaka just reminding him. But he hasn't made the most of his chances in his return to Bree Stevens Fields. Scored 13 goals here in all competitions as a forward Madison player, on his way to setting the club record with 23 goals across 2 seasons with the Mingos. Derek Gebhard equaled that mark in his 5th season over the weekend in a 3-1 win against Greenville. Those two have remained on the fringes, although Cheney has certainly had his chances in this match. Christian Cheney battles off a defender. Flying kick from forward Madison. Reeled in here by Charlotte. It's Jauregui. Moreno claiming handball. Nobody listens to his cries. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. May the forward be with you is the theme tonight in Madison. Fans had to choose pink or blue. They stepped up to receive their light swords this evening, dotting the Wisconsin sky. A night full of drama. A storybook return for Christian Cheney, who was hoping to be the main character and still may have 10 minutes more. For now, the supporting actors will shift for Matt Glazer. It's Papo Souza back from red card suspension, who's able to spell Nazim Bartman on the right side. And we saw Juan Galindrez enter the match as well. A lot of talk about Cheney and Gebhardt in the all-time scoring charts. Galindrez, with his goal on Saturday, became the 5th man in USL League One history to reach the 30-goal plateau. Cheney, another one of them, as is Garrett McLaughlin, who also is on the pitch as we speak. Rivalry steeped in history. Ever since the first meeting back in 2022, which was the last time that Charlotte was victorious here in Madison. Cheney. Chilaka's been extra friendly with him. Nga, able to spin away. That will benefit Jauregui here. Trying to slip through Swebu Maru. Dimmick launches. Jauregui rises. Cheney trying to pick it up. Slides in at the feet of Souza, but he's able to clear the ball into Charlotte's defensive half. Another roll of the dice here from Mike Jeffries, similar to a switch he made in their last match to bring on Pedro Fonseca. Another League One import from South Georgia Tormenta, where he was an all-USL selection last year. 7 goals in the league, and when he's come off the bench recently, he's played a little bit more in midfield. He actually replaces Swebu Maru here. Trying to get a little more presence on the ball, Mike Jeffries. And Christopher Jaime, the other player to enter the fray, can play at a number of positions. Jai into Jaime, his first touch is playing in Dimmick. Shouts for a penalty. Swiped away by the Sabres behind the net. But Dimmick can't believe it. We're gonna take another look with our Dairyland replay. It's contact from behind from Jake Kroll. And it would have been cruel if Justin St. Pierre had given that one. Madison get away with it, but not the kind of challenge you want to tempt the referee with in the 84th minute. Fonseca, Cheney lines it up, and he was battered from behind. Souza leaving a bit on Christian Cheney, his former teammate. Knew that Cheney was lining up for the shot, and that is a dangerous play from the defender, with Cheney unable to keep his balance. When you strike a shot like that, you're putting all your weight on that standing foot, and then when you release it, you kind of go airborne, and Souza took that moment to shove Cheney to the ground. Bear Insurance, a proud sponsor of Forward Madison FC, is based in Madison, has provided protection and peace of mind to businesses and individuals throughout the state of Wisconsin since 1928. Madison trying to protect their home base here. Invaded by the Independent Alliance on this May the Forward Be With You theme night. Does Dimmick have the keys to the Death Star, or may it be Pedro Fonseca? Keep an eye on those 3 in gold at the back post for Charlotte. Vaquero works his way inside, off the wall from Fonseca. He spears it back in. Header from Dimmick. Likewise from Moreno. Galindrez breaking free. A touch around Nga, met by Jaime. And a timely tackle from the Charlotte defender, who gets it out to Juan David Moreno with a burst of pace for Charlotte. Jaime coming back in field. Nga. Fonseca. Dimmick. Macias, another unconvincing clearance, but it's at least out to Javan Romero. Charlotte threatening, building. Fonseca on the outside was offside. Romero furious with his teammate, who had very little else to do other than look straight across the line, and yet he wandered. One more change for Charlotte, their final substitution. New signing Tumi Moshabane, who may not have featured tonight, but seeking a goal here with 3 minutes left in regulation. He joins the fray, the 30-year-old attacker from South Africa, acquired from El Paso Locomotive for the rest of the season. Did play 45 minutes against Union Omaha before he got subbed out. He's called upon here by Mike Jeffries. Once a double-digit scorer in League One. Back trying to do damage against one of its original franchises. Looking at the standings coming into this match, you would have thought this is a good point for Madison. 13th in the league, Charlotte up in 3rd entering the action. But over the course of play, the Mingos will feel they deserved a full 3 points here. And on the other hand, Charlotte, given the results around the table tonight, could be feeling like this is 2 points dropped for them as well. Both sides with impetus to go and win it. Fonseca goes down. Galindres. Gebhard sparked to life. Mr. Madison. It's back to Galindres. Loose touch. Pounced on by Romero. Galindres will try to win it back. Couldn't find that late goal that he did on Saturday against Greenville. Jaime to Moshobane. Jaime around the corner. An important sliding challenge from Damia Villader, who has switched wings, providing support on the left. Nga. Cheney couldn't hold it up. We will play 3 minutes at a minimum of stoppage time presented by Just Coffee Co-op. Is there to be some late drama at Bree Stevens Field in our League One nightcap? Cheney leaves it for Fonseca, trying to return it to the former Madison man. Cleared out by the Mingos, and we will have a stoppage time sub here. Right after Charlotte bring on their new signing, Madison will do the same. Matt Glazer calling the number 13 of Temi Iriku, Lagos native, who was acquired on loan from Birmingham Legion for the rest of the season. Same club that they got Luca Dorado from, who provided the assist in the first half this evening. Macias comes off, and Iriku, a player who can play in midfield or at center back, so definitely a more defensive switch for Madison as they try to protect this point. Under siege in the late stages from Charlotte, but much like their match against Omaha, a 2-1 defeat, Independence seem to have turned it on a little too late. Still 1 minute left for Fonseca. The Colombian Moreno darting in. Sent into a galaxy far, far away as Madison less than a minute from a hard-earned point. High boot coming in from Charlotte as Iriku goes down. Not a very nice way to welcome the Nigerian to USL League One. That is very, very dangerous from Christopher Jaime. Lucky to get away without a booking. And a reminder that there is no VAR in USL League One, because I think anybody who saw that replay Might have asked for a bit more. Cheney called back to defend. Could Madison snatch something late? Not with that service from Murphy. We're into the 94th. Charlotte have seen some stoppage time dramatics, most recently against Texoma. Justin St. Pierre checks his watch. Viader has options. McLaughlin was there, stabbed away. Independence allowed to go in transition now. Jaime tugged to the ground, but Kroll continues. Forward Madison, and it's Eriku on debut. Still we go on, 90 seconds past the allotment. Souza, great ball in, calls out the goalkeeper. Eriku had another chance at goal. He's bundled down as he went for the header. And we are brought to a stunning conclusion by the whistle of Justin St. Pierre. Honors even after 90 minutes between these two League One rivals. A point secured by our man of the match, Christopher Garcia, who scored with the play of the match presented by Dairyland Insurance. And boy, did he take it sweetly. Opening the scoring in this game in the 44th minute, just before the halftime break, with his first goal for forward Madison. And it is that man, Christopher Garcia, who is our player of the match. Full-time score presented by Rhyme. 1-1 between forward Madison and Charlotte. We'll break it all down for you and show you the highlights right after this short break.
Tomorrow isn't on the horizon, it's already here. At TrueStage, we've been building the future for nearly a century, empowering businesses to support their customers and members with what they need to thrive. Confidence in every step forward. With our range of simple and flexible financial solutions, we're not just ready for the future, we're shaping it, and we're helping you shape it too. Tomorrow isn't waiting, and neither should you. Learn more at TrueStage.com.
Welcome back to Breese Stevens Field as we wrap this one up by getting a look at our man of the match. The Mingo on the score sheet, Christopher Garcia, for the first time in his forward Madison career, and what an occasion to do it on. Let's take a look back at our full-time highlights. This match finished 1-1 between forward Madison and Charlotte Independence. Some sensational drama to wrap up the midweek mayhem here in League One. There's Christopher Garcia's goal. You've seen it, you'll see it again, because that move to get around Matt Levy and freeze one of the best goalkeepers in League One, simply sensational from the young winger. This match got a little crazy though as things continued, as in causing their own trouble by failing to clear the ball, and Njai was able to stuff this one in the bottom left corner. It finished 1-1 after 90 minutes. And the stats told quite the story, presented by Rhyme. Charlotte Independence really evened things out by the end of this match. When we looked at halftime, there was a huge deficit in shots, in possession, and of course in goals as well. They find the equalizer, they tip the shots in their favor, but ultimately it's Madison who come out with the better on the stat sheet in terms of possession and shots on target. Well, they entered the match with a new hope. A league winless run broken. They weren't able to add another win to the tally as Christian Cheney and his evil empire struck back in the second half. But that was all she wrote for episode 12 of Forward Madison and Charlotte Independence. We'll see you next time on USL League One.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.